Hello friends, welcome to Saturday in the studio. Today I'm going to be making some gift bags junk journal style. So I think that this is a great idea to use up your supplies and to be able to give them away to people. So we're going to be making some of these Christmas gift bags, and then I'll show you some different ideas of things that you can do to put them together. So I hope you'll join me in the studio. So what you need for this project is pretty simple. You need obviously a gift bag, and it certainly doesn't have to be a plain gift bag. You could use one that's, already got some decoration on it. It could even be one that has a picture or words or something on it. Just make sure that the picture that you're using covers up, what's on the front. So these are really inexpensive, especially the craft kind in packages. I think I got mine in a set of these very plain ones here. I got in a set of 10, and I think they were $3 or something like that at like Family Dollar or something. So you definitely need those. And then the rest is just probably stuff that you already have for making your journals. So I'm going to be using some digitals from my Kringle Crew kit. To do some Christmas themed ones here, but you can use whatever you have. You can fussy cut things from books that you have. You can use scrapbook paper. You can use old Christmas cards. So like this is a Christmas card that I got last year, and I thought this would make a cute front on a bigger bag. So I have this big bag here, but backed with some fabric or some burlap or something. I think this would be a really cute bag as well. So feel free to use your imagination and look around and see what you have. And then after you have your top layer of pictures, then you have to go for your next couple of layers. So I'm going to be using just some regular scrapbooking paper. This isn't even cardstock, I don't think. It's pretty light. So you can use that for sure. You can use some fabric. So I might use this is just muslin fabric that I have, but I think torn. This would make a nice edge around some of these, make them look nice and vintage. And then you could also use I'm probably going to try to use some burlap too. So I have some of this brown burlap and some green burlap that I think goes with some of these. So we'll have to see how they come together. But let's go ahead and make one, and then you can go ahead and make your own. Okay, so I'm going to start with these two Victorian Santas, I think. And I'm just going to use my Distress ink to make sure that the edges of the picture that I cut out aren't white. So I'm not even worrying about distressing the tops so much. I just want to really be sure that when I glue it down on a piece of paper or some fabric that it is, not showing white on the side edges of it. So I'm just going to do that real quick. And then I found just this plain paper that I'm going to use as my first layer. And I'm definitely going to add in a couple of layers here. So I'm going to just glue these on, and then this one I may need to cut down just a little bit because I want the border to be a little bit more even around the edges. So let me go ahead and do that. And for this one, I'm going to use my art glitter glue to glue down the paper on paper here. I might use my Fabri-Tac for some of the other gluing that I'm going to do. So now I'm just going to cut these down just a little bit to make them a little bit more even at the bottom edge. I think that's about right. Kind of hard to tell. That looks pretty good. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Okay. now we can add another layer. So I want to add some kind of textile or something, and I was thinking there's some brown in these, and so I was thinking that the brown burlap might be nice as our sort of finishing touch here. Yeah, I think I like that a lot. So I'm gonna cut this burlap, and now I'm gonna show you how I cut burlap in case you've, I don't know, had problems, or maybe want to know a different way, or want to learn a little trick. So I'm going to use the edge that's already cut. So if you have a finished edge on your burlap, you will need to cut that off, because part of the beauty of burlap is the frayed edge that you get. So what I'm going to do, now these are both pretty much the same size width-wise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide how much border I want around them in one direction first. So I like just about this much. Looks like it's a little bit over 1/2 inch. And so I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. Now, instead of just cutting all the way down at 1/2 inch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find one of the pieces of burlap that gets me to about that 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to try and separate it out, and I think this is the one. And then once I've got it in my hand, I'm just going to pull it through the burlap, and you can see now I pulled this piece of burlap out. And once I do that, I have a wonderful guide to cut my burlap out, and I don't have to worry about not being straight. So now all I have to do is follow that little ridge that I created, and I have a nice straight piece of cut burlap. So I think that's a great little tip if you wanted to know how to cut burlap straight. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the top. So I'm going to, put it where I want it, decide how high I want it to go, grab my piece of burlap here, and then just shimmy that out, and hopefully I have enough room for the other one. And actually, I think that is just about perfect for the two of them. And then I could cut this down more if I wanted to, but definitely the one thing that I'll do before I put these anywhere is pull out some of these threads. So I like to have some of the burlap actually frayed. So if you pull off 1 or 2 pieces, you start getting a nice frayed edge there. So, and these actually probably would look better on a bigger bag since I've left so much. I don't know that they'll fit correctly on a small bag. Let's see. Yeah, those are pretty big for a small bag. So now the other thing that I could do is I could cut them down, because I do see at this point that I maybe left a little extra burlap that I didn't need. So let's go ahead and let's try to cut this down a little. So I think I'm going to try to maybe pull this out here. I'll make this a little bit smaller, because I do think that even a big picture on a small bag looks nice, but I don't want my burlap hanging over. So we'll see if I can modify this a bit so that it'll fit on here and look nice. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And actually what I could do, since I've already got it starting to cut, I could just, pull out a couple more and then cut off all the edges. So now this, because I don't have my little ridge, and I'm going to definitely be making a mess with all these little ends, but I think, see if I can use my rotary cutter here to save me some time. I don't know if I got them all. I'll find them for days probably. Okay. That definitely frames it a little bit better, I think. And I think this might look cute on the bag. Although one thing I might do is I might do some sewing on this. So maybe what I'll do is I will sew, instead of gluing the paper to the burlap, which you could totally do, I may sew the paper onto the burlap so that I have, you know, that's how I've secured it. And then I have even more sort of texture on there. So let me go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and stitched the paper with just a quick zigzag stitch to the burlap, and I really like the way that looks. And these fit on these gift bags just about perfectly. So, you know, if you would like, these could certainly go on a bigger bag, you know, if you want a bit more of a frame. But I kind of like the way these sort of cover the whole thing. So I can just imagine these with some tissue paper coming out of the top, and I think that would make a perfect little gift bag. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, because I know that this will really go through, and I'm just going to glue to the sew line, or the edge of the paper. So if you didn't sew, I'm going to leave the edges of the burlap loose that are beyond the paper, because I like the way that adds a little bit more texture to it when it's glued down. And you can see just how fast this went. And I know I turned off the video to go sew, but as long as you've got some thread in there that matches, shouldn't take you too long to quick do that stitch around and have these done in no time. So if you need one, you should be able to get one done in, like, you know, 20 minutes. But if you think ahead and make a couple, then you can just come down and grab one to be able to put some gifts in. So I will show you some of the other ones I did, and I hope that you'll go out and make some of these for yourself. Okay, friends, I just wanted to show you a couple more bags that I had done. So we did these together, and I really love the way they turned out. I think with some red tissue paper or something, or even just some dark green tissue paper, these would make really great gift bags. And then I also put these two together. So I did the same thing. I had cut out a digital from my Kringle Crew kit and put it on some muslin this time. And I tore the muslin so it has these great frayed edges. And I was going to put some burlap on the back, but once I put it on this muslin, there was such a nice contrast to the picture that I thought they were perfect just like they are. So once again, these I think would make great gift bags. And don't think that you have to just do Christmas. So, you know, start thinking ahead to birthdays and different things. These were some book plates that I had made earlier with some cutouts and some cheesecloth and some book pages. So you could really use up your book pages here. I think this would make a wonderful birthday gift bag. And same with this one. I had printed on some fabric and sewed it onto some burlap. And I think this would make a great gift bag as well. So don't forget to use what you have around. I was even thinking that I would take some of these tags that I had made with garment tags, so like tags you get off of clothing, and I just cover them and make some collages with them. But if I take this out and put some twine in it, you could actually hang this on the bag too to make a little to from tag. I think that would look really, really great there. Another great idea, I think, for these bags would be to add a pocket. So I had some pockets that I had made before, and I think putting them on the bag would be really cool, because then you could put your tag, your to from tag right in here, or, you know, make a bigger tag for the top. So I think that would be perfect. And then I just had some more of these plates that I had put together. So look around. Oh, I have one more thing here. I had also made this glassine bag that I had altered. And I think putting this on a gift bag would be great too, that you could add a tag to right up here. And then you've got your textile kind of coming right out the top there. So use your imagination, and I hope that you come up with some gift bags that you can use throughout the year and not have to spend too much money. Just use what you have. Thanks so much for spending Saturday in the studio with me. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.